As the U.S. entered a state of war, they departed from isolationism and violated their own neutrality acts. However, prior to the bombings of Pearl Harbor, many U.S. citizens were opposed to the idea of intervening in another war. With an almost inevitable war, FDR attempted to establish good relations with nations in Latin America.
Hello, America. Through my several Pan-American conferences, nullification of the Platt Amendment, and keeping peace in Mexico over oil disputes, I have upheld the good neighbor policy.
As the U.S. inched closer to entering the war, FDR attempted to justify U.S. intervention by stating that the U.S. were protectors of democracy.
People everywhere in the world deserve to enjoy 4 fundamental freedoms: freedom of speech, freedom of worship, freedom from want, and freedom from fear. It is America's duty to protect these rights. Following the bombings of Pearl Harbor, many began to show an intense hatred for all people of Asian descent.
Pearl Harbor quickly escalated racial tensions across America, in addition to giving the U.S. a sound reason to enter the war.
This a white neighborhood, you dirty jab.
With FDR passing Executive Order 9066, all people of Japanese descent were forced into internment camps.
Can I get out now?
No.
How about now?
Nope.
How about now?
As the nation became united, it shifted towards wartime productions and distribution of wartime necessity.
FDR acted quick and established the War Production Board. Factories such as car manufacturing plants were converted into weapons plants. In addition to men, women also became involved in the domestic war effort.
Yes, we can!
Off the coast of Newfoundland, FDR and Churchill arranged a secret meeting. Roosevelt felt that the U.S. was close to entering the war. The two leaders created the Atlantic Charter, which was a plan for post-war peace. However, there was a significant amount of people who strongly opposed the war.
The American war effort was huge, and it seemed to be firing on all cylinders, but the war did have its fair share of critics. These critics would form the America First Committee, who believed domestic interests superseded all those of the foreign world. These critics cited the findings of the post-World War I Nye Committee in declaring any U.S. foreign involvement a mistake.
With the government passing the Selective Service Act, men who were able to fight were drafted. However, a significant amount of citizens volunteered to sign up for the fight.
African Americans experiencing inequality on the home front and in the military believed in the Wwii campaign, victory against the Axis powers, and a victory in equality following the war.
Next.
Good morning, sir.
Alright, now what sector you be applying to?
Air Force, sir.
What are your credentials?
Well, sir, nothing more than a will to fight for my country.
Couldn't ask for anything more.
Well, thank you, sir.
Bratwurst, Sauerkraut. Ist gesund.
the war on the European front ended with the fall of Germany, the US and their allies concentrated their forces on Japan, but the location of the Japanese Empire made it difficult for the Allied forces to even reach the Japanese mainland, even through island hopping. This, coupled with Japan's refusal to surrender, influenced the US's decision to drop the atomic bomb.
The loss of American life and the belief that an instant solution would be the best way to end the war fueled the Manhattan Project.
Stalin, FDR, and Churchill attended the Tehran and Yalta conferences to discuss world affairs during and after the war. Potsdam decided the fate of Japan and Nazi leaders after the war. The tensions built up between the USSR and America in the post-World War II era culminated to the Cold War.